2 years ago, I was looking at spending about $60,000 on fertilizer. It was up in the air whether I wanted to do that and invest that kind of input cost in a crop. And luckily I didn't. Luckily I went the Sugar Creek Ag route because of the drought.
I'm Taylor Merritt from Sugar Creek Ag. I'm down here in Texas with one of our farmer dealers and sharing his experiences with using our products the last couple years.
I'm Barry Graves. I'm here in Texas. I'm in Dayton. It's about 45 miles northeast of Houston, kind of halfway between Houston and Beaumont. And I'm growing around 500 acres of coastal Bermuda grass hay. I've been using the Sugar Creek Ag products. This is the second season. Both years we've had substantial drought. This year in particular, we had a real wet spring. It stayed wet and cold down in the 40s all the way up till about May. Then when it warmed up, it turned dry, and it's been dry ever since, so it's been a struggle. But I have used the Sugar Creek Ag products earlier in the spring with good results. Along with the drought that we've had, it seems to have held its color and stayed healthy. So we're just hoping for rain at this point and hoping that we can get another good, probably only one more last cutting before the season's over. But so far, I think if we get rain, the Sugar Creek Ag products is going to kick in and help us get a good fall crop.
So you've been using our Earthquake liquid humic, seen some really good results as far as your soil conditions and what kind of response you get out of your hay.
The Earthquake has really made a noticeable difference. It seems to me, along with Forage Factor and the Grenade that y'all recently come out with this year, it really turns it on. And what I've noticed is made the grass much thicker than what it normally would be. It all depends on the soil samples that I collected in the spring as to how I would, apply whichever product.
And when we were on our tour of a couple of fields, you were talking about you used Calzone 2 seasons ago. You had called for how much lime, and then used the Calzone, and then what was the last soil test?
I catch soil samples every year in the spring. All the years past, it called for 2 tons of lime, every soil sample every year, but in this part of the country, we just don't have access to lime. When I found out about the Calzone product, I put out 3 gallons per acre year before last. This past year in the spring, earlier this spring, I caught the soil samples and improved it from calling for 2 tons of lime to 0.7 tons of lime. So
that was just from that one application of Calzone, and it always called for 2 tons, and now it only calls for 3/4.
Probably about 4 years past it. The yields were always decent enough that I just kind of overlooked the lime, knowing that it needed it. So when I got access to the Calzone product, did the application, and so this year in the spring, I went ahead and put another 3 gallons on it. I'll catch the soil samples in next spring when I always catch them before fertilize time. So we'll see what the results are going to be, but I expect that I should be somewhere up around 7 where it needs to be, and it's definitely made some improvements. So.
Well, that's good. That Calzone is our liquid calcium. It's a 10% soluble calcium with other things added. We've had really good results across the board, but this is a concrete example of somebody who used it, and this is just on his farm and what he found with that product. Got a little bit of production in this year. Normally this barn is over half full this time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, this barn's 18,000 square feet, and normally this time of year, it's probably pushing 70% full. I don't have any round bales in the barn. All the round bales that we made sold out of the field. I was able to I think we was right around 3,500 square bales, and that's going in a hurry. And the production from the Sugar Creek Ag product has some fields, everybody around here is averaging about 1 4x5 bale per acre, but I have had some fields, the ones that I've square baled, averaged 2 bales per acre, which, with the conditions, it's really good.
Yeah, that's really good. Any kind of boost in production you can get this time of year with this kind of drought. But
absolutely, but the main thing is some of the people around here that's using the commercial fertilizer have over $100 an acre tied up in. Then you get a drought on top of that. It's just
Money
it
wasted.
turns into a pretty good loss. And so with what I have invested in the Sugar Creek Ag products, it don't hurt near as bad as as $100 an acre.
Oh yeah,
So
for sure.
that's been a blessing there. And but one of these days we'll have the year where we get the rains that we need. I think once we do that, then and even right now, I have people driving by asking what I'm doing, different from everybody else. And
Yeah, so they're noticing your fields
they
look different
notice,
than
and
theirs.
yes, they do. You can definitely notice driving by that it's holding the color. Like commercial fertilizer, you'll get a good cutting off of it, and it'll hold its color probably, in this part of the country for another couple of weeks, and then it starts losing its color, and you really need to fertilize, after every cutting. And what most people do here, they'll top dress with 32% or 30-002 liquid nitrogen, and then they'll get another cutting after that. But that's the only way you can get it to hold its color is if you apply a nitrogen or a good blend of 400 pounds per acre or so.
Another $100.
Yeah, another $100 after every cutting.
Yeah.
But so far, the way it's looking, if we can, get a rain, the grass is just going to green back up and go on. And at this point, this time of year, if we do get some rain in the next 2 weeks, we're probably only looking at one more cutting. So I don't know whether I'm going to do a fall application or not. It just depends on the conditions,
Yep.
So.
And that's one of the joys of the foliar application is you can tailor it to what's actually going on. You can keep it in the jug. You want to plan on the future, and then you can get it out in a day. If they're calling for a good chance of rain, you can put it out. You don't have to worry about weather conditions that much. You can use it when you need it.
That's correct. And my plan is I normally do my weed control in the fall after the last cutting, let it jump back out some, and that's when I put my herbicides out. I'll put the drop kick out along with it and my potash for the fall to just kind of help have a healthy root system to survive the cold weather. Our weather doesn't get real cold, but we have had below freezing weather for a week. It's unusual, but that potash really help keep the roots healthy in the wintertime. But I have been applying the potash with every application as well, because this coastal needs potash.
Yep, that's one reason we do have that drop kick 4021 with boron, and use it. We specifically use it for overwintering, and that's where it really helps the plants. And now with your herbicide application, you've been using our Wildfire.
Yes,
you've been noticing a difference on your kill.
It works really well. I've had no problems with the kill with the Wildfire, and since I've been using the product, I've had some really good results out of the herbicides that I've used.
Yeah, and our Wildfire is an AMS replacement. It's got anti-foam, anti-drift, a lot of other things. It's kind of a cocktail. Keeps you from hauling those heavy bags up on top of the sprayer and putting them in the sprayer. But it's 1 gallon does 800 gallons of finished spray, and it's a little over $1 an acre is your cost on it. And we have a lot of farmers have had really good results with that, including you all.
Yeah, absolutely. It's worked really well. Y'all have any product for whatever your soil conditions call for. So you have your P and you have your K that you need. This part of the country, as I said, with a coastal, it needs a lot of potash. But the Payback is another product that I've used. Raise your balance numbers up, which it helps with that as well. It all depends, as I said earlier, it all depends on what my soil samples say for whatever particular field is. And that's the, if you want to call it a cocktail, that's what I mix.
So you just pick and choose which of our products you need to adjust to your soil test.
Correct, yes.
And grow the hay that you need to grow.
But then there again, when you have a drought and you don't get the rain, you don't get the moisture with it, you're getting results because you have a good color and the grass is trying to grow. And as long as that grass is holding a good green color like it has, and it even is now with the ground cracked open, that the plant's healthy. So you're doing something right and at a very low cost.
Well, we sure thank you, Barry. We appreciate what you've been doing down here, and it's always nice to come visit and see what's going on and check over the hay fields, and we sure hope the rain's in the forecast, so let's pray that it shows up.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm thankful that we found the product, because 2 years ago I was looking at spending about $60,000 on fertilizer. It was up in the air whether I wanted to do that and invest that kind of input cost in a crop. And luckily I didn't. Luckily I went the Sugar Creek Ag route because of the drought, you know, that followed along, you know, right after that spring, and put you in a situation to where, you know, it would be break even at best, you know.
Yep.
So
Now you got a little money left over to buy that diesel fuel, right?
that's another thing. That's for another video.
Yeah.